The Dearborn Independent, December 3rd, 1927, Volume 28, Number 7. Mr. Ford's page of the Dearborn Independent, False Values and True. The circulation of suspicious coin is bad for a community, but the broadcasting of false values is worse. To detect false currency is comparatively easy. To search out and eliminate counterfeit values is a much more formidable task. For they lurk where they're least suspected and possess a luster which hypnotizes reason. The only true test of values, either of men or of things, is the test of their ability to make the world a better place in which to live. The only title worth having is that which is built upon merit. If that which has been extravagantly appraised does not essay a fair percentage when passed through the crucible of experience, it will be pronounced a failure. Some people place a fictitious value on things that are of no importance. If they were very young children, this would not be remarkable. In the age of innocence, an illusory value is attached to the most trifling things, perhaps a smooth round pebble, a fragment of shell, or a piece of brightly tinted paper. A little girl collects bits of cloth, broken crockery, and glass beads. A boy hoards up marbles, bits of string, and dilapidated penknives. In these things one sees the instincts of primitive man, the desire to possess that which is of brilliant hue, which shines or sparkles, or which to the unsophisticated mind bears an exaggerated importance. Of the intrinsic worthlessness or lack of utility of the objects thus accumulated, the child has no conception, although by means of such trifles it delivers an extraordinary amount of gratification. But this pleasure is non coitus. Parents look on indulgently and say to themselves that the child will know better when it arrives at the age of reason. But this does not always follow. The characteristic of extravagantly appraising things that are useless is not peculiar to either children or savages, and sometimes the motives that underlie the characteristic is a more questionable kind. The experience of ages has shown that the only true test of value is usefulness, and by usefulness is meant the faculty of being of real service to mankind. The setting up of false values when estimating men is even more common than the appraising of things. Sometimes one man will call attention to a passing citizen and his substance explain, "There is a splendid fellow, one of the most remarkable men in the country." Both assertions may be without foundation. The laudation may be merely fancy of the result of a desire to appear broad and generous-minded. In the majority of cases, it means nothing at all. Titles are sometimes tacked onto men just as labels are attached to goods for sale. A high-sounding destination gives an illusory value of man, just as a tag often does to merchandise. If a man is not of the true metal, no amount of gilding will make him otherwise. If his standard of intelligence is low, no flamboyant title can raise it. Much polishing may make pewter look like a silver and brass like gold, but the false luster soon fades. The most skillful horticulturist has not yet succeeded in making grapes grow on thorns or figs on thistles. But certain titles, whether falsely assumed or otherwise, undoubtedly exercise a fascination over the simple-minded. The more extravagant or fantastic the title, the greater its power over weak intellects. Since the beginning of time, quacks and charlatans have been sustained by the very audacity of their pretensions until truth and justice have torn aside their masks. The uninitiated have been deceived by the glittering yellow of iron pirates on a lump of coal, or clinging to the pebbles at the bottom of a clear stream. and have rushed off to tell the world of their supposed discovery, only to find it pronounced fool's gold. The actual value is in the coal, not in the glittering paradise. Illusory aspirations might also be included in the category of false values. There are people who are still crying for the moon as they did in their childhood, who are chasing rainbows or pursuing gaudy creatures with painted wings that continuously evade their grasp. This futility of purpose and misguided energy lead to nothing but disappointment and disillusionment. The true road to happiness lies not in seeking those things that merely gratify the senses, but in those which may serve as solid foundations upon which ideals may be built. True value lies in that which will endure, that which is useful, that which is real, but above all things, that which will be most beneficial in promoting the happiness of the greatest number. There is more true gratification in attaining the goal that has been slowly and steadily striven for than there is in the accidental discovery of a gold or silver lode. In the one case, success has been reached in the pursuit of something, the value of which lies in the widespread benefits which it will confer, while in the other, it is merely the discovery of something that has been hidden for countless centuries, and which brings into the service of man nothing that he did not formerly possess.